All right, welcome to our session here again, Facebook Live, and let me get one or two things set up, and then we'll get started. Okay, so the topic for this session is talent versus hard work. Okay, let me clear this out. Okay, so talent versus hard work. The truth about natural born salespeople, right? So some people, um, they believe to be successful in sales, you have to be a natural born seller, a natural born salesperson, gift of the gab, right? And I remember this conversation I had with a friend many years ago, and they said, either you got it or you don't. Okay. And I disagree with this because it would mean that unless you got it, you're not going to be successful in sales. And sometimes, depending on your personality, how you grew up, your cultural upbringing, things that you're used to, it might be challenging to become better at sales, or even develop sales skills, or even develop selling skills, right? But I'm proof it's not impossible. I strongly feel that anybody can develop their selling skills and their people skills, and hopefully you get a little inspiration for yourself. All right. Now it's going to be valuable for anybody who feels like they're not a natural when it comes to selling or to the sales profession, or if they're not natural when it comes to communicating with people. Okay. And a lot of my clients and students over the last 22 years, they might be surprised about the next thing I'm going to share. Okay. With my prospecting, conversational, presenting, and closing skills, you, you might think that I'm someone who would be a natural born salesperson. In fact, I get this a lot. But this is very far from the truth. In fact, I I actually categorize myself as someone who is an introvert, by nature, rather shy and rather quiet. Now, a lot of these things are difficult for me, especially when I first started my sales career and when I started my business. And I never really talked too much in when with in groups of friends. In fact, I'm probably the most quiet one. I was always the quiet one. Even when I was growing up, over the years. Um, so I realized this, okay, and so getting into the profession of selling was something that was very challenging for me. So I did a lot of self-reflecting and self-analysis, and I realized that well, in order for me to become successful in my chosen career, or at least at that time in my job of selling, I realized that something had to change. So I wasn't really sure on exactly what I should do or I could do, but after a period of self-reflecting and self-analysis and figuring out what I needed to do, what I figured out was that I lacked skills, right? I lacked the skills in a lot of areas in the sales profession, and I made a decision to improve in all of these areas that were necessary to become successful in having a sales career. And I became committed to this. I worked really hard on it. I was committed and have been committed to this for over 20 years. So I I learned how to acquire these skills and I put it into action, daily and consistent action. That's where the hard work comes in. So, do you have to be a natural salesperson to be great at sales? My answer is no. But having the knowledge that you need the skills, okay, and having the skills is not enough. You must apply those skills into the real world. And it was hard when I started, and over time, and you know what? I wasn't a natural at these things, but I worked towards it very very hard, very diligently, and eventually became a successful sales professional. So in the beginning, I'm not a natural salesperson, right? I had to learn all these skills. So when I got into sales, I basically just trained my way up. So I read a lot of books, listened to audio tapes. I took sales training, live classes, workshops. I got a lot of experience, and I had to grind my way up before I actually got pretty decent. Now, it's true that some people are wired differently, and some people are raised differently when they're younger. And when they're an adult, their behaviors are different, and that can lead them to be either more awkward or more natural or worse or better at sales, especially when they're first starting out. Now, it doesn't mean that you cannot improve, right? And what is being natural anyway? That's just how people look at you or perceive you, or the impression that they have of you, all right, when you first start doing something. But if you really work hard at something, you can you can get to the point where people look at you, they think you're a natural, but in fact, you worked hard, you learned, you implemented, you took action, and you just trained your way up. Now, I learned these skills for myself and I applied it, and I got great results. And I want to share these lessons with you so that you can take these lessons and apply it in your life. And you see exactly what I'm talking about. Even though you're not born a natural when it comes to people, you can develop these skills. It's simple and challenging, but it's not impossible. There's always going to be people who will say things like, oh, you know what? This person is not a natural. They're never going to be good at sales, or they're never going to be good with people. So, if you're getting into sales, or you're already in sales and you want to do better, or you want to develop yourself in any type of way, my suggestion for you is to not let people tell you what you can do and what you cannot do. um, Listen to what they're saying in the areas that maybe you're lacking, that you need to upskill, because maybe they have some insights in this. Maybe not the best way for them to say it, but you know what? Take what they say and apply it and do better. Okay. The best way to really find out if you can do something is to try it for yourself versus letting somebody else scare you or prevent you into not putting any effort at all. And even if somebody has more natural ability than you in any type of skill set, it doesn't mean that you cannot train and actually become better than the person who's a natural. Okay? I hope you learned something about myself and yourself, and you should get some inspiration and motivation on how you can develop your skill sets and not let other people's words deter you from going after what you want. So please look at yourself, figure out the skills that you must acquire, and make a decision to take action and apply these things every single day. So that's the core of success, taking action with the right skills and the right techniques. Okay. So we do these Facebook Live sessions every Tuesday and Thursday. Very quick sessions, give you tips and techniques. Quickly, things that you can take in just a few minutes and apply it in your business and your sales career. So I invite you to join me. Every Tuesday, every Thursday, right around this time. Okay, and I'll share snippets of information, golden nuggets of information that you can probably take and use right away in your career, in your profession, and in your business. So I want to wish everybody to stay safe, and blessings for all of us. Thank you.